In this video, I have a 2011 Kia Sportage, and I'm going to show you how to replace the crankshaft position sensor. All right, so I went to AutoZone and got a crankshaft position sensor. This is what it looks like. It's a pretty basic part. It connects into the computer about right here, and this is the sensor that gets installed by one single bolt. It's a very basic part, but for some reason these auto shops charge a lot of money for them. This one was about $90. It is a Duralast brand, so it has a pretty good warranty on it. And honestly, these products are pretty good. So the person I'm fixing the car for wanted it done immediately. Alternatively, you can get this part on Amazon, probably about 25 bucks. And the part that I found, it was 4.4 stars. 50 people bought it, good reviews. So if you had more time, I'd probably just do that since it's, you know, a third of the price. If you do this yourself, you are going to save a lot of money. The auto shops charge around 900 bucks to get this part installed, which is crazy. 900 bucks. This is going to take you just minutes. This is not a very challenging thing to do. So do you need a crankshaft position sensor? Well, the first thing, in order to determine if you do, you probably have a check engine light on. Depending on the code that it reads, it's going to indicate if you need it or not. So that's the first thing to look at. Also, other symptoms that you're going to experience if you need a replaced crankshaft position sensor is you're going to have trouble starting your vehicle. There's going to be intermittent stalling. When you go to accelerate, it's going to accelerate very slowly, and that's because that sensor isn't reading properly. So everything's going to be misfiring and just not going to be working efficiently. So you're going to really feel it like your vehicle is just really bugging out. So those are the symptoms. People usually feel that before they realize and read the code, and the code is going to pretty much indicate that this is what you need. For this vehicle, you can put it up on jacks or you can put it on blocks like I have right here. These Rhino ramps are awesome. I definitely recommend them. So like I said earlier, this sensor is going to plug in from the top side in this section right here. There's all sorts of components that plug in. So I think it's that second one right here. I'll know for sure in a moment. But you have that, and then you have this component right here that's going to bolt in as well. So I'll show you where this goes. It's going to be on the underside of the car. Okay, I'm under the car now. I'm going to try to help you understand exactly where I am because I haven't seen a single video that clearly shows this. It's usually just zoomed in on a location and it doesn't make any sense. So I like to try to do the opposite of that. So I'm going to show all the details I possibly can. This is the front driver's side tire and this is the front passenger side tire. So scoot back to about maybe 1 foot behind the wheels and you're going to see this section right here. You'll see that the transmission, this is the biggest indicator that you're in the right place. You'll find the transmission and you have your exhaust manifold. So the part that we're going to be removing is this plate that is right here. It's held on by 2 bolts, 1 and 2. We're going to go ahead and pull those out. I'm going to bring this camera up and you'll notice that underneath this plate you got a wire. This is the crankshaft position sensor wire, and that's what connects upward. I put this red piece of paper right there so that we can trace the wire. So that's kind of an indicator to kind of show you the direction that it goes. So I'm going to get this plate off, and we're going to unplug the bottom and then plug in the replacement all at the same time. All right, that top bolt is 10 millimeter, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off right now with my ratchet. Okay, there's that 10 millimeter bolt. I'm gonna go ahead and set that one down. All right, and this one is 12 millimeters. I'm gonna go ahead and get this one off. Actually, let me use 2 hands to crack it. All right, be careful not to drop it, but this is one of those like nut washer things. Don't know what to call it. I'll Google it. All right, now you can take this plate off. Slides right off. There it is. And then up here is the crankshaft position sensor. You can see there's a bolt right there. Okay, so zooming in on this position sensor, this is a 10 millimeter as well. You gotta really reach back far to get to this. So I just cracked it. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off now. Okay, and got that 10 millimeter bolt off as well. Now the crankshaft position sensor is situated in there just by pressure. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull on it to remove it. All right, I had to really yank on it pretty hard. I just pulled from the cord. And this is what it looks like when it comes out. Okay, so here's my replacement. That's the part that's gonna go in where we just freed up. Notice about a foot up the cord here, there is this plastic piece. I'm not gonna be able to film this again because it's gonna be already up in there. So you can see that this is one of those pressure clips where you push it in and it's really hard to pull out. So in order to remove though with needle nose pliers, you're gonna pinch these ends to collapse this so that it can come out. So that's how you're gonna retract the old one, or just completely break it and pull the old one out, and then you're gonna put the new one in that way. And then this part that connects into the computer, I'm gonna show you, that's gonna be up in this section. Remember I put that piece of paper right there to show you the location? That's where the piece of paper is. We'll get to that upper section here in a moment. All right, out with the old, in with the new. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt that back up. Okay, I got that bolt put in. I'm gonna go ahead and feed this wire up and pull out the bad one, put in the good one. All right, and just a reminder, I have this red piece of paper on the old wire to the left. My new wire is on the right. I put them both up in the same section, and this plastic clip is gonna be plugged back into right here once I get the old one out. All right, now we're gonna move to the top part of the engine. Best way to see what you need to do is just climb up on the tire and literally sit up here on this brace so that you can get into this section. Okay, I'm sitting up on the car. You can see my feet, battery, engine, looking down here. This is where it gets really hard because you can't stick your head in and see. So I'm holding my new input right here off the sensor, the crankshaft sensor, and I'm gonna lean over and you'll see my red little piece of paper that is leaning up against my other wire. So the best way to do this is reach down and get the old one, see it's hanging, and you're gonna go ahead and trace it up, and you'll feel where it's connected in. So it's connected in underneath this pipe right here. Let me get rid of this paper, it's not needed anymore. And when you're looking in, you can see my finger on the wire right here. You can see it connects into the second one right here. So we're gonna need to take this off. All right, here's an update. I used my needle nose pliers and I put them in, and then I expanded them so that I could get this compression. I got a compression clip right here. Okay, so now you can see that I've removed it from this compression clip that was holding it in right there. So now I need to separate the computer side of the sensor from the broken crankshaft position sensor on the left. So this is the good side. Don't mess with these wires, don't break stuff. This is important, so be gentle. And we're gonna disconnect it on this side. You grab that wire and you're gonna pull it out. I need two hands, so I'm gonna stop recording. There's what it looks like. And then once the wire's out, you pull to separate. All right, we're getting closer. So this is the bad end. So I'm gonna push that down and through, and I need to disconnect it from its mounting clip. Okay, this end of the clip gave me a heck of a time. I had to cut it off with my needle nose pliers and wire cutters. I wanna show you where you get to it though. Okay, well, let's start here. This is where a crankshaft position sensor is. You're gonna go up to where the wire is gonna connect into. All right, this is where I cut that little piece off that got stuck. And this is me clipping in the new one. Nice and easy. And then I have the good end of the sensor right here. I'm gonna go ahead and tuck that up. Okay, here's my good new sensor. I'm gonna go ahead and click it together. Okay, I clicked it together and I put my little wire pin back in. Now I'm gonna situate it back into the mounting bracket, just like that. And I'm gonna use two hands and close that back up. You see how it's spread open right now? Gotta close that back up. Okay, and I got it pinched back shut right here. I have everything on except for that cover plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the engine on and make sure everything sounds good. Okay, so I have everything connected in and it's secure. The last thing I need to do is put that cover plate back on that had the 10 millimeter bolt and 12 millimeter bolt. Before I do that though, while everything's open and accessible, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the car on and I'm gonna let it idle and I'm gonna listen to it. You should feel a noticeable difference with it cranking and turning on, and then rev it while it's in park, and then you should just feel a difference. All right, that started up strong. I'm already noticing that I have no check engine light. I don't know if that's a fluke or not, but it's no longer here. I thought I would have to clear that code, but that's interesting that it's gone already. So I'm revving the engine right now. It's very strong, it's very steady, big difference. It felt like a bunch of misfires. It felt like it couldn't rev up and get up to speed. From an RPM perspective, it was very jumpy and shaky, stuttering a lot. Okay, I went ahead and put that cover back on. I'm done. All right, I'm on to the next thing. I hope that video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.